Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard the T-54 Mod 1949. Now, actually, I wanted to do a tank review on the 51 version, and this is by no means a tank review. This is just a kill orgy, and while I'm killing stuff left, right, and center, literally, I will guide you a bit through some of my thoughts regarding, Soviet high tier vehicles. Now, and also why I love arcade, that's the title of the video. Now, I was previously taken out by an IT-1 in one shot. I didn't even have the chance to fire the first shot. The spotting mechanic, while being there is a rule of thumb for me personally. When you see the marker, it's too late. It's too late. Rockets are on their way, shells are fired, you're out of position. And so it is more challenging than certain people think. Now, here this T10M stole the kill from me, and this was actually the situation where we broke through. Now, what I love about arcade is that the tanks are not so slow. Yes, it's less realistic, therefore you have the realistic mode, and I love to play sometimes, certain tanks in a realistic match. But when I'm grinding, I love arcade, and there is nothing better than arcade, which you will see in the result. And also when you use boosters, especially, precious boosters, tank-wise, I don't feel comfortable in realistic. You overlook something, you make a wrong movement, you die, you haven't receiving any points, and then you're out, and maybe a 500% booster RP wise is wasted. Here I'm circle strafing a T-54, taking my time, and interesting. Yeah, this was ATGM beats. Obviously the Raketenjagdpanzer is okay. Surely there is no such thing than having an easy time in Russian tanks, to say it in polite words. And I thought he was in removing an M for the driver and the ammunition rack. So, now, so this is why I love arcade. It's more forgiving grind-wise. You don't waste boosters that much, and overall you have more tightly packed actions on smaller maps. Now, I love big maps, don't get me wrong, but I despise the big maps we have in War Thunder in realistic, because they are purely driving in matches where there are like 8 versus 8. Watch my So I Tried our realistic battles video. I was not sure which. It was the second battle of El Alamein, I guess. Map, the big one. And yeah, you drive for a few kills, and then the results are, well, in this bombing run alone, I make more silver lines and credits than I did in, the entire RB match. And it's just frustrating, and one mistake would have been enough to take me out. So here I know what to do, and save my comrades against the pesky traitor T10M. This one gets out, and you see how dynamic the gameplay is. Now, if you love realistic, there's nothing wrong about it. If you don't like me playing arcade, okay, I get it, those are opinions, and those opinions, are personal things, so I respect it, alright? But grinding wise, there is nothing better than arcade. So I aimed for this mouse, but the shell glitched somewhere. Didn't matter. Yeah, now about the T-54. I think the 49 variant and the 51 variant are not as problematic as the 47 variant. Not just because of the battle rating, and the tanks they face, but also armor-wise, they have less armor than the first one, which is really problematic because the stats you see on the stat card don't show the truth, in my opinion, because the armor is so hard. Now, if you have to deal with T-54s, aim for the cupola, at least when you have access to APHE shells. With solid shells, I actually never tried to snipe the cupola. It might work, might not work. Who knows? So I see this IS-2, he hides behind the dead rack of the mouse. Even an IT-1 or any kind of ATGM can't kill him. So I charge him. I really have a lot of confidence in my armor and my overall skill. Yeah, skill when you drive Russians. Ask any T-34 driver. They are very skilled, are they? So then there is the thing. See, those Russian tanks, with the exception of the newly added T-62, they have access to APHE. The Leopard doesn't have APHE anymore. The M60 and the M60A1 and also all the British tanks don't have access to APHE, which, you know, is quite a bummer, because with the stock shell of any T-54, you can quite literally kill any opponent. And when you penetrate the tank, it's mostly either very, very crippling or it is a one-shot. And also then with the higher variants, you have access to not just APDS, but also on the 51 variant, heat. So you have all the ammunition you want and you need to do well. And the armor is really trollish, and from the front you're pretty safe from AAA vehicles, unlike other nations' main battle tanks. And this makes them so enjoyable to drive. And there you can see 12 kills in one run. In, what was it, like 6 minutes since I killed the first tank? I love those tanks. They are really enjoyable to drive. You're not hasted, you're not pressured, you know. And they are pretty forgiving as well. And the gun depression with the low turret rotation speed is not an argument for me. So, for 12 kills and 1 bot, I got, together with a few assists and critical hits, 75,000 silver lines and 5,378 research points for the T-62. Would have been more if I did it with the 51 variant. That would have been 30% more to the base research points, because you get a bonus while grinding, you know, you just have to know that. I think I mentioned this in my how to grind tanks. Yeah, and you know, the big difference for me personally is that those tanks are very good even when stocked. I can kill stuff. APHE shells is all I need, and heat shells and APDS are just a bonus. Yes, they make it sometimes easier, but I always take some APHE shells with me. And there you can see, in this tank it actually was a mistake to research the APCR shell. I would have been even better on with the BR412D or something else. Okay, at that time when I researched it, there was no crew replenishment module. But overall, let's move on to the 51 variant. And as you can see, there is not much difference between not just my personal progress, but also the modules available, with the exception that the T-5451 gets the additional heat shell, which does have 380 millimeters of penetration. And again, I did the big mistake of actually going for the APCR shell. Yeah, so let me know in the comment section what do you think about T-54s, your experience in battle with them. And again, I think that's it for today. So, please give me a like on this video if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, look forward to the tank review of the T-5451, and see you next time on the battlefield.